Good day everyone, I am Gwyneth Espinoza.
I'm Breana Yasmien P. Arceo.
I am Faith Beryl Alisay.
I am Micaela Manlapig.
I am Jelli Nicole Fajardo.
I am Clare G. Villanueva.
I am Deseree Mae Barredo.
I'm Valerie F. Victa.
I'm Raemond Cruz, and we are the Group 4. Join us as we learn about business and ecology.
Have you ever stopped and wondered that we human beings actually cannot function on our own? Human beings, including you and me, are a part of nature. Yes, we do not function alone, but rather we coexist with each other and also with other living organisms such as animals and plants. In relation to business, its responsibility extends beyond its internal affairs but also the external, which is its responsibility to the environment, as businesses are functioning within an ecological system. Ecology refers to the study of interrelationships of organisms and their physical environment. However, businesses must always keep in mind that for every action and practice they take for their operation can have a substantial impact on the environment, which they must avoid at all times.
Crucial flaws in the society's structure cause social problems, which can seriously affect the livelihood of a large number of people. Social problem refers to behavior or condition that is hurtful for people. Thus, it must be addressed and dealt with accordingly. The two essential components for sociological problems are the objective element and the subjective element. Objective element refers to the consequences of behavior or condition that may be seen and backed up by empirical evidence. It may be hearing a relative lose their job due to business downsizing, or encountering a homeless person on the street due to poverty. These are just some of the examples. The subjective element, on the other hand, refers to the view that a specific social problem exists. However, it will only be classified as a social problem if there is a sense that a condition or behavior needs to be addressed with the intention to lessen them, as well as having the confidence that it is attainable.
We have learned the definition and the essential elements of social problems, but we also need to realize where they emerge from and how we, as individuals, collaborate as one in order to overcome them, which encompass the fundamental elements of social structure and culture. Sociologists include family, close friends, peers, religion, education, law, politics, and economy in a social structure, and these fulfill the basic needs that are essential to the society. Social stratification pertains to society's classification of its individuals based on variables such as money, income, education, family history, and power, and its unbalanced allocation of societal resources. The elements of culture particularly important for understanding social problems are values, norms, beliefs, and symbols.
Now, let's get things started with the traditional attitudes of business towards the environment. Businesses have the inclination to look at our environment as an endless supplier of resources for their operations, thinking of natural world as free and unlimited good that is for exploitation or wastage, while not batting an eye to the future, as Dennis R. Cooley has said. They will perceive something as an opportunity such as air, water, land, and other natural resources ranging from animals to coal, and assuming that these are limitless can lead to adverse effects such as decrease in natural resources and pollution. Businesses, on the other hand, need to realize that this is only unlimited if you take out of stock at a moderate rate, that the time it takes to recreate itself, which connects with the neglection of ecology and disregarding that should have been interrelationships among organisms and their physical environment.
Now, let us move on to environmental ethics. First of all, what is environmental ethics? Environmental ethics is a discipline in philosophy that focuses on how people should interact with the natural environment morally and ethically. It all comes down to what each of us, especially businesses, should be doing to protect and help the environment. Some businesses, however, argue that their environmental responsibilities are limited only to what the law requires and what will make their business profitable. Ethicists disagree with this stance because they firmly believe that businesses should look beyond the profit motive and regulatory standards to come up with more persuasive reasons to promote environmental responsibility. With that being the case, three philosophical theories can be taken into account, each of which leads to conclusions about how environmentally responsible businesses should be.
For the first theory, we have the anthropocentric or human-centered theory. Since the environment is essential to human survival, this theory suggests that humans must ensure that the Earth is environmentally hospitable. From a business standpoint, this implies that businesses have a duty to avoid actions that may cause harm to the environment and may endanger human life. Second, we have the animal rights view, which is an approach to environmental responsibility that is based on the notion that animals should not be subjected to the desires of human beings. So from a business standpoint, this implies that businesses should avoid harming animals directly through animal testing and indirectly by destroying animal environments. For the third theory, we have ecocentrism, which states that we have direct responsibilities to environmental collections. From a business standpoint, this means that the environment is a member of the moral community, so corporations have a responsibility to safeguard the whole planet.
Now, let us know more about the moral and social obligations of business to the environment. But before that, how can the word duty be defined? Duty is an obligation to act in a certain way. There are two basic forms of duty: prohibition, which specify things we should not do, and requirements, which refers to the things that we should do. Moral obligations arise from three sources: laws, promises, and principles. First up, we have law-based moral obligations. This concentrates on the legal obligations that companies have to uphold the law on their overall operations. Next is promise-based moral obligations, which are primarily based on promises or agreements. This emphasizes the concept that individuals and organizations should fulfill their moral obligations to do things that they agreed to, especially if others are depending on them to do so. And lastly, we have moral principles as the basis of moral obligations. This is a standard of conduct that exists regardless of laws or agreements.
For our last topic, the Valdez Principle, also called the Cruz Principle. It is a set of 10 guidelines designed to regulate and monitor the conduct of corporations in matters relating to the environment. The guidelines seek to be better inform the public and establish audits and report on their environmental impact. In 1996, Aveda became the first beauty company to adopt the Cruz Principle. Some of the other early Cruz signatories include some of the known company businesses like Coca-Cola, Nike, American Airlines, Dunkin' Brands, McDonald's, and other brands that adopt this principle. So, why should companies adopt the Valdez Principle? According to Mary Ellen West in her journal Environmental Law and Review 1992, there are 4 main advantages to a corporation that agrees to adopt the Valdez Principle.
Here are the 4 main advantages to the corporation that adopts the Valdez Principle. Number 1. The positive publicity that sustainably could help the corporation image in the eyes of its shareholders, customer, in this age of green consumerism. Number 2. Corporation will experience reduced costs associated with waste hustling fees, coupled with the potential revenues generated by the recycling in accordance with principles. Number 3. Corporations that voluntarily strengthen their environmental standards may avoid financially sustainably environmental disaster. And lastly, number 4, favorable investment in the corporation by carries members. These are the 4 main advantages to the corporation.
To conclude, business and ecology are very related to each other, and it includes internal and external factors in a business sphere. we should continuously monitor our environment and adopt suitable business practices that not only improve their present performance but also continue to succeed in a market for a long period of time. For all people who pursue to be a successful business entrepreneur, remember that the success of a business is not only on the business itself, but it includes how your business affects the growth of our environment. And that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for your time and listening.